Let's start. So, hello everybody to a new edition of the M2M Member session that we're streaming live today from the bioRN offices. My name is Stephanie Füller. Blood and its components are not only vital in emergency medicine and surgery, but also drive pioneering research and the development of new therapies, as is done every day at Heidelberg University Hospital and the surrounding research institutes. Behind the scenes, highly specialized teams ensure that this precious resource is safely collected, processed, and made available where it is most urgently needed. Today, we'd like to introduce the work of the Institute of Clinical Transfusion Medicine and Cell Therapy, IKTZ, which is so incredibly important in so many ways. I'm very delighted to interview today Professor Thorsten Tonn. He's Professor of Transfusion Medicine and Molecular Hematology at Goethe University and Medical Director of the German Red Cross Blood Transfusion Service Baden-Württemberg and Hesse. Great to have you here, Professor Tonn.
Thank you, Frau Füller. It's a great pleasure to be here and welcome everybody outside on the board. Thank you.
Wonderful. Professor Tonn, please, would you like to introduce yourself and how you became part of the IKTZ?
Yeah, my name is Thorsten Tonn. I'm from specialization. I'm a medical doctor specialized in transfusion medicine. As you have already mentioned, I'm working at Frankfurt University, where I have a joint position, two positions actually, at the University Hospital in Frankfurt, and I'm also the medical CEO of the Blood Donation Service Baden-Württemberg Hesse, which is a Red Cross non-for-profit organization. And this Red Cross Blood Donation Service has a joint venture together with the University Hospital in Heidelberg, and this is the IKTZ, the Interdisciplinary Group Clinical Transfusion Medicine, Institute for Clinical Transfusion Medicine and Cell Therapy in Heidelberg, IKTZ. And I'm the medical CEO also for this IKTZ due to my position as CEO of the German Red Cross Blood Donation Service, which is one of the major stakeholders of this IKTZ.
Okay, so would you like to introduce us to the history of the IKTZ? When was it founded, actually?
The IKTZ has a very long history, which goes back into the early 1907, where it came out of the hospital, the old hospital of the city of Heidelberg, which was the Samariter House. And in 1907 there was already the first start of serology. As we all know, Karl Landsteiner had discovered the blood group, and after the discovery of the blood groups, early 1900, it basically also then developed very fast serology laboratories to test blood groups, etc. And this was something which took part there in 1907. Then in 1920, the Department of Serology was founded as part of the experimental cancer research laboratory here in Heidelberg. And there was already this serology lab, and then it took another couple of years, and basically in 1966 this serology lab was extended by also including blood donation and founding a classical blood bank. And this was basically the start of the IKTZ as we know it today. But in 2005, this university department for transfusion medicine, for blood group serology, etc., merged together with the German Red Cross Blood Donation Service to become the IKTZ as we know it today. And this took place in 2005. And there was another very important step which was taking place in 2011, because this department and Institute for Transfusion Medicine took over a former GMP infrastructure which was founded by a company named Cytonet. Cytonet was a biotech startup, and they were running GMP infrastructure here on the campus of the University Heidelberg in close collaboration also with the Department of Internal Medicine, at that time by Professor Hu. And this was Professor Ho, sorry, and but this had to close, and the IKTZ then decided to take this GMP infrastructure over. At that time, the IKTZ, and for many years, was headed by Professor Stefan Moyer, who is very well known also with the bioRN, because he was in the board in scientific advisory over many years. He's a very well-renowned immunologist worldwide, one has to admit. And he was also then a founder of the IKTZ together with partners from the German Red Cross, and I think this was a very wise decision to basically put the blood transfusion cell therapy onto a very good basis for the future and everything which is up to come.
So what is the mission today? If you look back, see how the IKTZ has developed throughout the years.
The mission is always, we know today that the advanced therapy and also the high-tech medicine, including transplantation, and Heidelberg is very strong in organ transplantation. Also, we have a big department for pancreas transplantation, liver transplantation, heart transplantation. This all still is not possible without the support of blood and cell therapies. The transplantation which is taking place in the Department for Internal Medicine, in leukemia, lymphoma, under the guidance of Professor Müller-Tido, is something which is one of the largest transplant centers in Europe, I would say. And for all these therapies, you need the supply of blood products. Without classical blood donation, packed red blood cells, platelets, but also plasma, these advanced therapies in the classical meaning of advanced therapies and high-tech therapies would not be possible. And it's the foremost task of the center and the institute IKTZ to provide the support with these cell-based transfusion medicines and to make possible and available these therapies so that the other therapies can take place to the best of the patients. And then, of course, the mission is to further advance this. And we have a situation where the classical blood products like packed red blood cells, platelet and others, in my view, this already was the first cell therapy which took place with a very long history. And today, of course, we are in a time where therapies that have been developed over the last 20 or perhaps 25 years now become reality. Like the living medicine, cells as a medicine where you can treat cancer, autoimmune diseases and other things. So the entire field is moving forward, and it's the mission of the IKTZ, especially with its knowledge in safety, donor safety, but also safety with regard to potential viral transmissions from donor to patients, where there is something, lots of things which you have to take care of to have safe medicines, safe cell-based medicines. And this is something where the IKTZ can play a role. And certainly the IKTZ with the stem cell laboratory and the GMP infrastructure is already providing today advanced therapies, stem cell-based therapies to the, especially the university hospital, but also to the community in the Rhine-Neckar area.
And this is a perfect transition. You brought a video today,
yes,
which we can show now, which explains the three pillars: blood donation center, blood bank, and stem cell lab.
Yes.
So, let's have a look.
Welcome to our blood donation center. My name is Marco Paparella. I'm part of the senior medical staff. Our mission is to ensure a safe and reliable blood supply to help patients in need. Here we collect whole blood, plasma and platelet donations. Our blood products contribute to life-saving treatments. We supply the Heidelberg University Clinic as well as smaller hospitals in the region, providing essential support for surgeries, emergency care, and for patients with severe illnesses. Thanks to a dedicated team and well-organized processes, blood donations are safe, efficient, and meaningful. We invite you to visit us anytime you want.
Hello and welcome in the Heidelberg Blood Bank. My name is Albrecht Leo. I'm a medical doctor and head of the blood bank here in the University Hospital Heidelberg. Here you see our red cell concentrates. We are supplying the Heidelberg University Medical Hospital and other hospitals in the area with these red cell concentrates from our blood donation center. As you may look at such a red blood cell concentrate, it's the red blood cells from a whole blood donor. In this incubator you see our human platelet concentrates. That means these platelet concentrates are delivered for patients with thrombocytopenia, that means low platelets. Our third main product, these are fresh frozen plasmas, that means plasma from single plasma donors. It's frozen. We are issuing about 20,000 of these fresh frozen plasmas for our patients per year. For blood transfusion, you obviously need a blood group typing. With these devices here, about 100,000 cross matches are done per year with these lab analyzers. Receiving samples from our patients from a university medical hospital around the day, 24 hours, during days, during nights, during weekends. These samples are processed, the analyzers are transmitted to our computer lab system, then transferred to the analyzers, the results are transferred back to our lab software, and later on the cross-matched red cell units and the other units are issued electronically and then transported to our patients.
Hello, welcome to the IKTZ Stem Cell Lab. My name is Bert Lemke and I will introduce you to the lab in a very short way now. Please follow me. So I'm the head of the quality control in the lab, and this is my colleague Miriam Stenzinger. She is the head of the production and also our medical director. Here we have our treasures. This is our cryo storage, where we storage the products for our patients in liquid nitrogen. And this is my colleague Lily. She takes something out of our big babies. We are working under GMP conditions and we prepare our products in the cleaning room. And here you see Johannes working with a product we just got from a patient, and he will prepare it in a very clean and aseptic area. And now I want to show you our quality control lab, where we measure our products and our cells. We count the cells and we measure the characteristics of the cells, mainly by FACS analysis. In the last few years, we realized a really boom of CAR-T cell therapies in university clinics. We are working very close together with them, and we are the manufacturers who produce the basic cells for the CAR-T cell production. So we are allowed with our license to take the cells out of the patients, and then we have a really strict quality control before the cells go to the manufacturers of CAR-T cells and then back to the clinics, to the patient. So also we produce bone marrow, stem cells, autolog and allogeneic stem cells, leukapheresis, more than 20 products we have in our portfolio. We are very excited about the development. At the moment we produce 5 to 6 CAR-T cell products per week, and we hope that we will get more.
Thank you very much for this great video, which really shows perfectly the value chain from blood donation to the stem cell lab. So, to the audience, if you already have any questions, please type them in the chat and I will answer them later. So, let's go back again and let me just ask another question. What makes the IKTZ unique within the landscape of immunological and cellular therapy in Germany and Europe?
I think what makes it unique is the location in the Rhine-Neckar area, which due to the DKFZ which you have here, then Heidelberg is also location for the National Cancer and Tumor Institute, National Center for Tumor Diseases, NCT. The University of Heidelberg is one of the universities together with Mannheim, where there is a broad spectrum of very advanced high-end medicine. And this is something where the demand for such therapies, for classical blood products, but also for advanced therapies, is basically given already here. And the IKTZ, together with the other infrastructures which we have at the University of Heidelberg, for example, today several times have been mentioned the CAR-T cells, and the CAR-T cells are produced at the Department for Internal Medicine by Professor Schmidt, in the department of Professor Müller-Tito, and we very closely work together because the apheresis as a starting material is provided by the IKTZ, but the CAR-T cell transduction in this case is done by the Department for Internal Medicine. And then we have initiatives now which are growing at the NCT, where there is also additional GMP infrastructure built. And but this all together can be seen as the ambition of academia to make itself independent in the production of advanced therapies. Because one has to consider that these advanced cell therapies, where you combine genetic engineering with lymphocytes or stem cells, it's spreading and becomes more and more, has been developed in academia as a patient individual treatment option, was then taken up only like 10 years ago by Big Pharma. They will produce it. It's very often produced in United States, or perhaps they are located in the Benelux countries. But Big Pharma is always only looking into the larger indications, and we have rare diseases where they may be only a handful of patients. And if we want to make these therapies available to very rare diseases which are not attractive for Big Pharma, if we want to develop something in early clinical phases to learn more, we have the development of these therapies goes from bench to bedside, back to bench, then back to bedside. So there's a continuous improvement of such therapies which have to be close to the clinic. And here at the campus in Heidelberg, as also at other university hospitals in Germany, there's currently a trend where the involved doctors, researchers, clinicians in the field try to put together their workforce to be independent from Big Pharma, so that you can, for the rare diseases, close the gap to Big Pharma, because Big Pharma would rather look into the larger indications, and you cannot only wait if you are something which in German we call center of Maximalversorgung. I don't know the English word for this, but where the patient is in focus and you would try whatever is necessary to cure this patient ideally, or to make possible for him a life without to extension of his life in a very deadly disease possibly, which is the case, of course, especially in Heidelberg with the close proximity of the NCT and the DKFZ.
So, could somebody outside the Uniclinic ask for IKTZ services, or is it still exclusively, or how is? will this work on in the future?
Yes, no, it's not exclusively.
Okay.
Of course, we have several services which we could also offer to others.
Okay.
And perhaps it came out a little bit in the movie of the different departments. On the one hand, we have collections of whole blood donation and the different classical blood products. And this I know is in pharmaceutical industry highly demanded because they do not have access to blood to donate donors to patients, and for their experiments and in the research and development they need access to primary cell samples, and we are happy to provide such things. Then on the other hand, we are a qualified laboratory for quality control for release testing. In Germany, for release testing of a cell product, you need to have a manufacturing authorization for the testing. This is something which is provided also by the IKTZ, so someone who is developing a cell-based therapy outside of our closer network of the university hospital and would require a contract lab for release testing. Cell-based therapies or something like this could contact us, of course. And the other thing is, of course, that we are could serve as a contract manufacturer. So if someone has something in development where you would like to have like preparation and manufacturing of early clinical trials, the IKTZ with its GMP facility is interested to get into contact and to discuss this in how far we could help with the translation of preclinical into clinical therapy of advanced therapies. So, but our focus would always more or less be circulating around blood, cells, and this is something, it has to have a relation to the hemopoietic system somehow.
Of course. Thank you. So, how will AI drive or influence the services of the IKTZ, Professor Tom?
AI has many implications, as everywhere in the world, and for all processes. I believe that AI will facilitate communication with the donors, because they can very briefly ask questions, and this is something which is also happening. Someone is asking, I've been traveling on holiday there, can I donate? I have this and that risk, etc. And there we are now looking into the automation already, and we also invest into AI for these purposes within our larger network of Red Cross blood donation service, not especially at IKTZ, but the IKTZ will profit from this, what we developed there. And then if you look into the, I think for cell therapies we also need automation. Release testing of the products is something which needs IT support, and AI can certainly help there also. And then some other thing is we have the cross-matching labs. And the cross-matching labs in the Institute for Transfusion Medicine, especially under the leadership of Dr. Albrecht Leo, this is a cross-match where when you give cells to someone else, you need to have a cross-matching, and if it's packed red blood cells, you need to know the blood group, and there's many blood groups, not just ABO, and you have to then do the blood group antibody screening, and AI can especially also potentially help in identification of such special, very rare antibodies. It could help to say you have to now do this panel to identify an antibody so that you will be able to collect the or provide a matching cell preparation for transfusion to the patient. And this could actually also take place for the other of histocompatibility, which is HLA, if it's referred to allogeneic donation. Today with the CAR T cells it's all autologous, but this certainly is not the future. The future will potentially be an allogeneic approach, and where you have universal donor cells, and AI, I believe, will be very crucial to help develop such things.
Okay, so to summarize, what will be in one or two sentences the main success factors for the IKTZ in the future?
I think we will have success at the IKTZ and the future is bright. And the IKTZ is an interdisciplinary facility which relies on the clinic and that at the clinic there will be such advanced therapies which are top-notch. And there I see there is, due to the location, that's why I said this, we have the DKFZ, we have the National Center for Tumor Diseases, and you have the hospital with all the transplantation. So the IKTZ is needed and will facilitate in close collaboration with all these stakeholders to make advanced therapies available to the patient. But in a very close collaboration, and this is what I think will be the main characteristics for something like such an interdisciplinary facility like the IKTZ.
So the IKTZ is part, of course, of a strong innovation network, bioRN. How can you help our members?
Yeah, I believe we can help your members, as I said already, by providing perhaps primary cell samples, primary serum samples, by providing our GMP infrastructure for contract manufacturing. If someone has something, we could advise and help and mentor in the translation of new developments into a clinical trial, what is necessary to translate a preclinical process, manufacturing process, into GMP, a good manufacturing practice processes. This is something where the IKTZ and the people which we have seen in the video have extensive experience and are really happy and helpful to help other groups. Is something which we already do now. There is a development which is under the leadership of Professor Platten. It's a new T-cell therapy for brain cancer, glioblastoma, and there is something where they are now proceeding into a clinical trial, and the IKTZ is actually has been chosen to do the translation together with a team of the DKFZ and University Mannheim Neurology Department to enable this phase 1 clinical trial in glioblastoma cells. And we are open to everybody who has such developments and would like to get our support, and meaning you can contact us at any time.
And how can other members support you if you need any support?
Yeah, I think bioRN is very important to the entire field and also to us. And what we would need is, I think, lobbying. Because in Germany we have the most complicated regulatory framework for advancing cell therapies. So there is a reason why lots of this is happening in manufacturing. It's happening in Belgium and in Benelux countries and Netherlands. And in order to make such early advanced therapies available to the patient, we need to have much easier conditions with regard to the regulatory overview. Everything is treated as if it would be like succeed into marketing authorization already in early academic clinical trials, and this is not the case. Early academic trials is usually taking place at patients with very severe diseases, small numbers, before the product will be changed and adapted. So you are looking basically, it's a patient treatment adapted in manufacturing things, and if you always have to submit as if you have a market licensing for a finished product, this is the relation and the risk benefit is not warranted in these cases. And there we would need support on a national and international level by bioRN.
Wonderful, great message. And you as a member can also support by donating your blood and join for this the bioRN special summer barbecue under the label Donate Blood Bring Sunshine, which will take place in July 10th here on the campus. Blood donation is possible over the day at the IKTZ Blutspendezentrale Blood Donation Center. If you are a premier donator, you're also welcome. The process will take around 1 hour. And bring colleagues and family. Each donator will receive a special bioRN gift at the summer party. and we are looking forward to the get-together over networking, drinks, and some Frankfurter Würstel.
In Heidelberg, Frankfurter Würstel.
Yeah, well, we don't have Heidelberg Würstel, but anyway, Würstels are welcome. So now let's move on to the questions from the audience, and I would like to ask Nicole to give me the mobile phone. Thank you very much. How do you see or handle the higher demand for blood products with a population in Germany who gets older and maybe has less blood donors among younger people? Are you doing research in artificial blood products?
Yes, we are doing research in artificial blood products, but and I think it's important, and we have a group at the university and Red Cross institution in Dresden, and we have generated, in fact, immortalized red blood cell lines, which are now, we cut out all major blood groups, so it's universal blood, but this will never, ever, not in my lifetime, not thereafter possibly, cover the demand which we have in Germany for packed red blood cells. The demand currently, it came down due to patient blood management. It has been like almost more than 4 million blood donations per year. Now it's something like 3.5 million. And what we can collect now in blood farming is one, I don't know, fingerhood, so such a small pellet. It will never happen, but it will be important because we have multiple immunized patients who have blood group antibodies against blood group, which are common among all donors, and then you can basically not transfuse these patients. So I think blood farming has a meaning there, but the demand which we have for patients with the elderly population is something which is a problem, and how we react to this is that we try to have campaigns and to advertise in the younger population the blood donation to be able to cover this one.
Thank you very much. So we're today at the end. Thank you very much, Professor Tang,
It's a pleasure.
for the
Thank
interview.
you.
We hope we could make it transparent, the IKTZ, but also emphasize on blood donations, which is so important and which everybody can do quite uncomplicated. So come to the blood donation barbecue on July 10th. See you in June with a new M2M video, but probably see you tomorrow at the German Biotechnology Days taking place in the Heidelberg Conference Center. Thank you and bye-bye.
Bye-bye.